तेरी यादों का तेरी याद में निहा 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 तेरी
What's cracking? The Mavericks win. Yeah, I know it's Tuesday. I usually it's coming on a Wednesday. Y'all gonna be here on a Wednesday, but it's just me. It's your boy Russ J. I just had to come on and talk about the college football playoff rankings and give my reactions one time. But first, God damn it, I love you, NBA. Go Mavericks. The Mavericks win. Oh man, you love that grit. You love that tough. You love that fight. You love the Mavs keeping it alive in the NBA Cup, getting to the knockout stages because they won by 6, my nigga. They had to win by 4. They won by 6. But really, what I'm here to talk about is college football players, and I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge. All right. You know what I'm talking about? So the college football playoff rankings came out. The predicted bracket came out. First off, I want to say, where the fuck is Dale? Y'all know Dale. I know Dale. Nigga, Dale, you need to come on here and join me, bro. Dale should have been on here with me tonight. You know, you watched your champion die against Syracuse. Oh, y'all lost to a basketball school. It's fucking terrible. So Miami losing. We had Alabama slacking towards the end of the season, losing to Oklahoma. We got Texas. You know what I'm saying? The haters can say what they say. Texas went out there to take care of business. We have the Ohio State losers, nigga. Bro, how does this happen? Ohio State, how does this happen? Y'all got a coach that can win every game except for the game against the team that wears the buffs. So all that being said, let's just jump right into it. So as we look at it right now, if we were to look at the college football playoff right now, you'd have Oregon would get the bye, Boise State would get a bye. Thank God. Let me talk about SMU right quick for all the people that don't know about the Pony Show. Man, look, SMU been talking to us since the death penalty, saying that this is what they're going to do if they get a chance to turn up. And they getting the chance to turn up. Looking like they're going to be the number 1 seed. Looking like they're going to get a bye and a home game. College football playoff is going to make an appearance in Dallas, Texas. I want to see it. I want to see it. Now, let's just go, through it. We got Texas is number 2. You can say what you want to say. You got to play the people in front of you. And dear SEC, this is the schedule that y'all gave them because y'all probably thought they would falter and fail. Y'all gave Oklahoma one of the hardest schedules, and we did falter and fail. Injuries happened, but we faltered and failed. But as I look at it, we got 8 versus 9. I really look at the committee, and the committee's trying to find a way to give people games to settle differences. Like when I look at this prediction of what it's going to be, I really look at it and I'm like, okay, so you can't do nothing about the conference champions because I guarantee you if they had the opportunity, they would probably not want SMU in. But what people don't realize is SMU spending a lot of money on the football program. It's what SMU does. If you don't know, go look it up, Pony Show. And it's paying off. Just go look up. They spend a lot of money. And all the kids that aren't going to a lot of these powerhouse schools but are really good at football are finding out, one, you get to live in smack dab in the center of Dallas. And number 2, you get to play for a school that's going to really, get your media up. SMU is going to be, as you see this year, they're already taking over the ACC, going to play Clemson, and we got to see if they're going to win that game. Because if they do lose that game, things could very well change for them as Clemson sits on the outside. And these games where you have teams sitting on the outside really are going to tell, like, who's going to make the playoff. Like you got teams that if they lose, they're going to be out. Like if SMU loses to Clemson, Clemson's in, they're more than likely going to be out, and their season's going to, you know what I'm saying? So I really think we're going to pay attention to it because I do think SMU is going to go to the quarterfinals because I do think it's going to take a team like Texas because SMU versus Texas is a matchup that not only, it's not only a matchup that people may like in the South and especially in the Texas region, but it's also a matchup that's gonna electrify the competition because the SMU boys are gonna come out there and play. Now let's go look at the beginning of the bracket. We know the bye weeks. Now this one's interesting. Tennessee versus Ohio State, and the reason why it's interesting to me is because a lot gets said, a lot's been said, a lot of people say, Tennessee is an SEC team, and Ohio State's is a Big Ten team, and we want to see you play in the cold. You've been in Tennessee in the cold. It gets pretty cold in Tennessee. It gets pretty cold, and that's going to be a home game for Tennessee. So, not a Rocky Top rocking Ohio State. You know what? I think, and I'll have some more opinions because Alabama's kind of in this realm. How many chances? Alabama's worse, but how many chances do you think a team gets? I mean, we understand that Ohio State spent a lot of money on their team, and we want to see that talent play. But at what point do you have to tell them, hey, man, if you lose again, or you've already lost again, like, what are we going to do? But you're making them play Tennessee, so I can fuck with that. Penn State versus Arizona State is your classic. Penn State, you always complain. This is why I actually like the committee, because the committee can actually do things like say, okay, Ohio State versus Tennessee, we don't really give a fuck about the weather. You can go to Tennessee. It's going to be cold up there. You're going to play an away game. It's going to be cold. What you going to do, Ohio State? Dig it. I do kind of feel for Oregon. It's like, yo, we got to play these motherfuckers again. Not in the sense of like they're scared, but in the sense of like, if you were Oregon, you'd much rather probably play the winner of the Alabama versus Notre Dame game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, on paper, Tennessee, Ohio State. Oh yeah, 8-9. Nah, you got one team that you got to play again, and you got one team in the SEC that's got the top 3, top 2, top 3, 4, quarter, top 5. Let's just say top 5. Let me go top 5. Top 5 quarterback in the NCAA. So, I think you get screwed a little bit there. Now, I will say after we move down, back to what I was saying, back on top of what I was saying. Penn State versus Arizona State's the classic. Look, this is one of the teams that's good. They should whoop the shit out of a team like Arizona State, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about Power 5 teams versus Power 5 teams that barely make it. Arizona State, you want to get in. This is what you want. Let's see what you got. Penn State's a good matchup for that. And in the next round, we got they would have to play Boise, which I think it kind of, again, committee respect. All the time we hear Penn State people talk, college people talk, what would happen if Penn State didn't have to play Ohio State at the beginning, or, you know what I'm saying, and that be their roadblock. You know what I'm saying? What would happen? And so Penn State, from what it looks like right now, until we play the conference championships, that's what you got. You pretty much got what you want on the table, Penn State. Like you pretty much, you get to play Arizona State, you get to play Boise State, and then you probably wouldn't have to play Oregon or Ohio State or Tennessee until that quarterfinal round. So that's a pretty good matchup. And a pretty good story to tell. And that's one reason why, even though I'm a proponent of all this shit don't matter, just wait till the week after conference championship, spit 12 teams out, or just tell us 12 teams from the old BCS format, because there was nothing wrong with the old BCS format except for the fact that, yo, my nigga, I can't advance this right now because I'm actually doing a pod, and he gonna see this later because he's probably gonna tune in. And shout out to NCAA Football 25. But yeah, so we're just moving on to the next game. When you have Notre Dame versus Alabama, this is kind of what I don't like. And this is the bias that you get when you have certain teams, because yes, Alabama is a good team, but this is where you beg the question, what the fuck is the season for? This is when people start to ask you, what the fuck is the season for? And I start to get on my sports Russ academic shit, because I'm really like, why are these niggas even considered of being in the fucking off? You lost to Vanderbilt, you lost to Oklahoma. You have a nice roster. People want to see you play football, but nigga, you did not produce. Like, and then you want to say, oh, well, they're in a hodgepodge of teams. You know what I'm saying? That Miami fucked up a game. Ole Miss fucked up a game. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm gonna choose between Alabama, Ole Miss, and who's the other team? And Miami, I'm sorry, Dale. I'm gonna go Ole Miss. Even though they played a horrible game, I'm gonna go Ole Miss. I'm gonna look at Alabama and say, how many chances do you need? Like, we keep giving you mulligans. Like, you can't. No, leave. What did Nick Kendrick saying when they had that fake video with the two double sides? No. Like, can I make the playoff? No. Like, we don't want you in this bitch. Like, Alabama, we just you did not win enough. You did not do enough. Like, put somebody else in the playoff. You're just putting them in the playoff to say, okay, if we get Alabama set up in the game against what the fuck SMU, they're gonna beat them. And so to me, I'm like, I don't think they could beat Notre Dame personally, because when you watch Alabama, they have so many things that go on. And when you have a team that knows what they're doing and they actually put Milroe in certain situations, it's not saying that he's not cold, but when you put him in certain situations, their team can't get out of it. And then their offense becomes throw it up to Ryan Williams, just fuck it up, he up there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not how you win football games. So I hope that at the end of the conference championships, they recalibrate and they get Alabama out of there, and they give us either Miami, or they give us really might be Miami. You know what I'm saying? Because if you take Alabama out, right, and this is on some committee shit, right, and you're trying to get ratings, right? Alabama has a big fan, so fuck them. They let's just be honest. Every college football team with a nameplate on the side of that bitch that's been there for about 40 years, we got Notre Dame, OU, Texas, Ohio State, you know what I'm saying? Alabama, Tennessee, like Georgia, like these staple blue buds of college football, they're gonna bring a lot of fans. And me personally, instead of me seeing the committee force Alabama in, I'd rather see the committee say, Alabama, you need to lick your wounds to go on somewhere and give us a first round game with the Catholics versus the convicts. Like, stop playing. Like, we got Cam Ward, we got Notre Dame's defense, we got Ryan Clark's son. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the classic matchup you can give in the first round. So I do hope after everything shakes out and we get a little more clarity after the conference championship, because I do think the conference championships are going to say a lot. SMU, please don't fuck this up. Please don't fuck this up, because having the 3 seed is dope. Now, moving to Georgia versus Indiana, that's bullshit. I'm just going to say this. Like, you give Arizona the opportunity to play Penn State and then play Boise State, but you're going to make Indiana is possibly the most hated team. Why do y'all hate Indiana? Like, as of right now, you got Indiana versus Georgia, and if you pull off the fucking miracle, then you play Texas. What the fuck is this? Like, this is the type of shit, like, you've obviously the committee has chosen Indiana as the whipping boy. They've said, okay, we gave y'all that one opportunity. You lost Ohio State, and Ohio State losing to Michigan really fucks that shit up. But you lose to Ohio State, and now we're going to fuck you in the ass. Like, that's basically what they told Indiana. You got to play Georgia and Texas if you get in this bitch. I know things are going to change up, but more than likely, even if they do change up, being that it's a committee, which is why I think they should go to just the BCS and let it spit out the fucking numbers, whether Indiana makes it or not. Because when you have this type of situation where the committee's basically telling us, like, we didn't really fuck with them. I mean, we didn't really fuck with IU. Not really fucking with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't get with that. No. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Now let me go to now there are some teams. Let me see. So, like, when we're looking at teams that got left out, so one, I already talked about Miami, and I do think Miami should be in over Alabama. I think Miami at 10-2 with a horrible loss to Syracuse. Where the fuck is Dale? I haven't heard from Dale. Miami Dale, where are you? You know what I'm saying? As an Oklahoma fan, I'm just saying, join us in the sadness. No one's as sad as us. But seeing Miami at 10-2 and Alabama over them, I really think that at some point the committees, the powers that be, they have to look at the SEC, and I'm an Oklahoma fan, and you have to look at the SEC and say, you made your bed. Sleep in that motherfucker, bro. Like, what are we doing here? Like you play in the SEC, you went 9-3, you don't make it. Like y'all, I can't say y'all. We talk about it means more, and it's this big conference, it's big things, and you niggas ain't like you lost 3 games. You lost 3 games. Like that, you are what your record says you are. So I think it's a travesty that Miami falls below them. I think Ole Miss is a really good team that can make it hot, and I think South Carolina team is a team that can make it hot. But I really don't think South Carolina is like got what it takes to do more than like one game. But when you talk about these SEC teams, you're talking about teams that you can possibly put into a situation where they don't have to play an SEC powerhouse. And to that, I understand, why you'd want to get the best football teams available. But at the same time, sometimes you got to let teams that made it make it and get beat. Sometimes you got to let teams that made it to the championship or the playoff in this case. We've seen teams many years in the BCS. They made it to a certain bowl game and they got beat. Bad. It happens, but they deserve the right to play in the game. And so I really do think that as the committee looks over this and as the championship games come in, I really think that they should take more. They should give more to the teams that have the winning records and have completed their season. I don't like this. We think that you can do. You know what I'm saying? You play the whole season for a reason. One of the main reasons why some people don't like the college football playoff is the fact that they believe that they believe that we got little ones that are trying to abuse the fact I'm on live. Go to sleep. And so yeah, I think they abuse the fact that they have names on the side of their helmets. And I don't really fuck with that. I think other teams should have a chance to get in. Now, I know that the recruiting world, bro, flipping like gymnastics of bricks. Let me tell you. Hold on. It's been a crazy. Hold on. Okay, so this year, college. If you don't watch college football and you haven't watched college football, it's fucking this one. This year has been a great year of college football. And the culminating, you can look up all the names. I'm probably not gonna go like too far into it. But I'll just say that this year has been a crazy year when it comes to the end, the money being involved, players flipping. We had Bryce Underwood, you know what I'm saying? He's making his way to Michigan. You have a plethora, Juju Lewis, but you have a plethora going to Colorado. He flipped from USC, LSU, Michigan with Bryce Underwood. So Keelan Russell, I don't know what you're thinking, but he's SMU to Alabama, but I don't know. That's just, but a lot of guys do snap. There he is, Tramel Jones. Okay, so a lot of guys have been flipping from Florida State to Florida State to wherever the fuck else I could go because I don't want to go to Florida State. So I think just as someone that watches a lot of college football, I'm not going to dive too deep. Like I said, I was really going to go over the rankings tonight. And I'm going to let y'all get around about a minute. But I will say, pay attention to the players leaving, the players flipping, because they're moving. You're going where the money goes. You're going where you can get paid. But I just wanted to go over the college football rankings. We're gonna be back tomorrow. At least me and Sterling. I believe me and Sterling gonna be back tomorrow. And we're gonna hit y'all up with a couple, NFL, NBA, what we normally do. But I wanted to go over college football tonight. I really don't have a lot else. I just wanted to go over the playoff. The standings don't really fucking matter to me. If you just want me to spit my opinion again, you should have the computer spit out the BCS 12. You should have us just do that. Give us a 12, finish the 12, and then those 12 play in the playoff, and then we can argue about that shit in the end. Travis Hunter should win the Heisman. If anybody else wins the Heisman, it's bullshit. Straight up. You don't really have anything else to say about that. Genty, you're nice, but you're not him. You're just not him. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? Georgia, you escaped against the Architects. Texas, you did your thing against Texas A&M. Oh, real quick before I go. Because as an OU fan, someone that likes OU, someone that's been in the Big 12 with Texas, I'm going to say this to A&M. Ha! Colt motherfuckers. You lost. You had all that shit. All that shit. And my father's an IU fan. So this football season has been a revelation to him. But as he watched the intros, he pays attention. You know what I'm saying? We live in Texas. He watches the intros. He sees this. Now, Texas A&M, that intro and what y'all did to start that game, oh my God. You almost made us think for a second that you was about that life. That was a great intro. But as my pop said when that happened, he looked at me, sitting on the couch, day after Thanksgiving, or 2 days after Thanksgiving, Saturday. They doing all this to lose? And Texas proceeded to run it down your motherfucking throat. Other closing things I'm going to say real quick is Ohio State, I didn't get on your ass, but I'm going to get on your ass. Actually, Texas A&M, let me revert back, because this is what I'm going to have time to say this. I'm not going to say this, but I'm going to say this right now. The worst thing about that loss, before I go, y'all, you had 13 years. 13 motherfucking years. Like, 13 years you forced the school you hate to not be in the same conference. You had 13 years to build yourself in the SEC. 13! My nigga, 13, bro. You was about to be a freshman in high school. You had lived the first part of the adolescence of your life without Texas. You had finally got out under your big brother shadow, and you fought for it. And you said that this was going to make us bigger, better, faster, stronger. You had better recruiting classes. You did all the shit you could do. 13 years. Could y'all imagine sitting back, plotting on a nigga for 13 years, and he come down there and put your dick in the dirt? Over and over and over and over and over. Nigga, what y'all gonna do? Run the ball, nigga, down your motherfucking throat. Like a little brother you are. So Texas A&M, y'all need to do better. Y'all need to do motherfucking better. And I don't want you to do better because I don't even fuck with A&M like that. I think it's a cult. I think everything that goes down. You have guy cheerleaders. Fuck out of here. Cheerleaders have dicks. Who wants to root for a team when the cheerleaders have dicks, nigga? Like, oh, boo. Shit gay as hell. And we not with that. No, can't do that. But y'all be in there doing that shit, and y'all keep losing. Y'all wonder why I keep letting y'all bad karmas. Because y'all got dicks in the cheerleaders locker room. Oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a cult. I don't really fuck with Texas A&M. You can tell I don't fuck with them. Nobody really does fuck with them. The only people that fuck with them is a nigga trying to get a check for playing football, basketball, baseball, or some sort of collegiate effort. And these motherfuckers that root for them. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? They not really at it. I will say Syracuse, the coach of Syracuse, man, every other team missed out on that one. Other than that, y'all, I had no much time. They're looking. I ain't had no watch on. I just did like that. I had no watch on. Because it's time for me to motherfucking go. I won't come out here for too long. I told you I was going to talk to college football playoffs. Get the fuck out of Dodge. These niggas trying to advance the season. Hey, live long and prosper, my nigga. Peace, nigga. We be back tomorrow with the full show. Bye.